The drama surrounding the WNBA right now is not about who won an award. It is about control of a narrative, about who gets credit for growth, and about how uncomfortable some people become when the numbers refuse to match the story they want to tell. What should have been a clean, celebratory moment for A'ja Wilson instead turned into another flashpoint in the ongoing Caitlin Clark debate. And this time the tension did not come from fans or social media trolls. It came straight from the pages of a magazine that should have known better. There is no debate about A'ja Wilson's greatness. Her resume speaks for itself. Multiple MVP awards, championships, Olympic dominance. A year that, on its own, deserved full recognition without caveats or comparisons. This should have been a victory lap, a moment to elevate her career and celebrate what she has accomplished in the league. Instead, the article tied her achievement to a critique of Caitlin Clark that felt forced, unnecessary, and deliberately provocative. Rather than letting A'ja stand on her own legacy, the piece redirected attention toward tearing down another player, and fans noticed immediately. The language used to describe Caitlin Clark's impact was heavy and loaded. Instead of acknowledging what everyone saw with their own eyes, the article framed her influence as something toxic and divisive, implying that her rise somehow distorted or erased the league's history. That framing is where everything went sideways. Caitlin has spent the past year doing the exact opposite of what she was accused of. She has consistently acknowledged the players who came before her, spoken openly about her respect for the league's history, and rejected the idea that her name should be used to divide fans along racial or cultural lines. That context matters, and ignoring it is not an accident. What makes this situation even stranger is the timing. Caitlin Clark was recognized by the same publication just 1 year earlier, celebrated for her impact and influence. In that moment, she was praised as a transformative figure. Now, almost overnight, that same impact is being reframed as something problematic. The whiplash is impossible to miss, and fans are not buying it. You cannot spend a year highlighting a player's ability to elevate a league and then suddenly pretend that elevation was harmful without expecting backlash. The numbers tell a story that words cannot rewrite. Before Caitlin entered the WNBA, the league was growing slowly. Viewership hovered at modest levels. Attendance was improving but inconsistent. Media attention was limited. Then Caitlin arrived, and everything changed. Games featuring her drew millions of viewers. Arenas sold out. The Indiana Fever went from an afterthought to the most watched team in the league. Fans traveled across the country just to see her play. This was not hype manufactured by media narratives. It was measurable, undeniable growth. Trying to downplay that reality is where the article lost credibility. It attempted to argue that the league continued to grow even when Caitlin was injured, suggesting that her influence was overstated. But context destroys that argument. When Caitlin went down, viewership did not dip slightly. It dropped dramatically. Roughly half the audience disappeared. That is not a coincidence. That is star power. Even when she was sidelined, fans still showed up to see her on the bench, to buy jerseys, to feel connected to the moment. That kind of pull cannot be explained away. What truly separated Caitlin in this moment, though, was her response. Or rather, her refusal to engage. While the internet exploded with debates, breakdowns, and outrage, Caitlin quietly posted a simple moment from her life. No rebuttal. No defensive statement. No call-out. Just an image of her enjoying another sport, focused on her health and peace. In one move, she reminded everyone why she continues to win over fans. She did not need to argue. She did not need to justify herself. She let her silence speak. That choice revealed maturity that many veterans never reach. Caitlin understands that she does not need to defend her value. The evidence already exists. Packed arenas, ratings spikes, merchandise sales, cultural reach. These are not opinions. They are facts. When she plays, people watch. When she does not, many tune out. That reality does not diminish anyone else's accomplishments. It simply highlights the unique role she plays in the league's current moment. A'ja Wilson deserves credit for everything she has achieved, and it is possible to say that without minimizing Caitlin Clark. The problem arises when recognition becomes competitive, when one player's greatness is framed as a threat to another's legacy. That is not how growth works. Caitlin did not erase history. She amplified the present. She brought new eyes to players who had long deserved more attention. including Aya herself. That should have been the story. Instead, the article leaned into division, and in doing so, it overshadowed the very person it was meant to celebrate. Fans were not angry because Aya won an award. They were angry because the moment was hijacked to settle a narrative score. And that frustration spilled over quickly, because people are tired of watching Caitlyn be framed as a problem when she has consistently acted as a professional, respectful ambassador for the league. There is also an uncomfortable truth here that many avoid saying out loud. Aya Wilson has been dominant for years, yet she never moved the league's needle the way Caitlyn has. That is not a criticism of her talent. It is an acknowledgement of how star power works. Some players change the sport on the court. Others change it culturally. Caitlyn has done both. That does not take anything away from Aya's legacy, but it does explain why the attention feels different. The real takeaway from this entire situation is not about who deserves praise. It is about how fragile narratives become when reality refuses to cooperate. Caitlyn Clark did not ask to be the face of the league's growth, but she became it anyway. She did not manufacture division, but she became a lightning rod for it. And instead of reacting emotionally, she chose grace and distance, allowing the noise to burn itself out. This moment will pass, but the numbers will remain. The impact will remain. And the league will continue to benefit from the attention Caitlyn brought, whether people choose to acknowledge it or not. Trying to rewrite that truth only exposes insecurity, not insight. Now it's your turn. Do you think Caitlyn Clark's silent response was more powerful than any statement she could have made, or should she have directly pushed back against the narrative? Do you believe Time magazine crossed a line by dragging Caitlyn into what should have been Aya Wilson's moment, or is this just part of modern sports media? And do you think the league is fully ready to accept what Caitlyn's impact really means? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments, and if you want more deep, story-driven breakdowns like this, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay locked in because this conversation is far from over.